Good evening, everybody. Hello, TikTok. How are y'all doing tonight? So excited to be here this evening. Just hello, everybody. Come on in. Let us know what you've been up to this week. Are you working on a project? Do you have something you really are enjoying working on right now? Just let me know. Yeah, I have been thinking about this night all week because we have got the number one 3D printer from the Skull and Bones Club with us here tonight, Ray Skullman. Ray, how are you doing tonight?
Oh boy, that's we don't talk about the Skull and Bones Club.
Oh, that's true. It's like Fight Club.
That's the first rule. Exactly. Let's just say, yeah.
I got you. Well, how are you doing?
I'm all right, and good. I'm getting over a bunch of things, getting over sick kids, and also myself trying to, keep the germs away.
Gotcha. Well, so I hope it gets better. I'm glad the kids are getting better. I know we talked about that a little bit. I'm glad the kids are getting better.
I got a whole fridge full of antibiotics. I'm good.
That's awesome. Well, good. And we are going to get started here in about 5 minutes. Hey, Ray, are you drinking or eating anything this evening? Hey, Michael, how are you doing? Thanks for popping in.
I am currently enjoying a fountain soda.
Oh, nice. What is your soda of choice?
Coke.
Okay. Awesome. Well, that's cool. Well, I am visiting my family this week, and I'm a Mississippi boy, so, a little bit of the good old A&W. That's how I roll. I'm trying to do less caffeine.
That's my spicy brain craves the caffeine. I need it. It's the only way I can function.
And well, driving 7 hours, coffee, Red Bulls, it was like, I probably better slow down or I'm going to jitter out of the chair tonight. I've been traveling a little bit, had a couple of jobs happening over in the Knoxville area. And so now, do you have any, what do you do? I know let you finish that sentence.
I'm a jack of all trades, don't you know?
Okay, yeah.
I'm a stay-at-home dad. I'm a 3D printer. Trying to get that up and running is like a full-time thing. Right. But mostly just for the last 2 years, I have been taking care of my twin boy and girl.
Okay, that's awesome. And I know we're definitely going to talk about that a little bit more as we get going. But, we all have side jobs. We all have those little things we do, little hobbies and stuff. And that's the stuff we're going to talk to Ray about tonight. And I'm really excited about some of the stuff. Y'all are going to be surprised by some of the stuff I think that we have on the agenda for this evening. Let me rub my hands, evil laugh. It's
let me rub my hands anxiously, like, oh no.
Exactly. Well, y'all come on in, keep clicking. We are getting there. Thank y'all so much for clicking. Even though nobody's here, nobody's clicking. But we're going to keep rolling, guys. I'm excited. I know I'm saying that a lot, but that's because I've been watching Ray for a long, long time, and I know I think we've kind of watched each other from a distance for a while, yeah. And just kind of see what's going on, see what's happening on each other's channels, and it's just been a lot of fun to watch his path and watch the things he's gone through. And so I want to show y'all and share with y'all kind of that breakdown that he's going through tonight. I know we've got some stiff competition tonight. I just found out that we are up against an interesting stream that I didn't know was going on tonight, but we're going to keep going. Should I say Joel is giving away about $100,000 worth of stuff on his live stream over on YouTube tonight.
Oh, right.
I know, right? And now I'm telling everybody, hey, Ray, how you doing? Thanks for joining in. Michelle Crystal, thank you for jumping in. Hey, give us some likes. Keep pressing that like button. Share this out to some people. Let's just get this going. Also, remember, I will be posting this over on the Tubes of You later on after this is done. So anybody who misses out on this, they can always catch up on it later. And that's, one of the things we try to provide around here is just people to have a chance to watch what's going on, to see the creators here. Because y'all know this is a community we're building that we're calling Value for Value. We're just trying to add value to people so they add value to us. And as a community, we're going to grow. Also, jump over on the Discord. I don't know if you do Discord, Ray, but
I am on the Discord. It is something I find it to be a necessary tool.
Oh yeah.
Certain limitations on certain apps.
Yeah.
Kind of that fills in the gap.
Yep. No, definitely.
That's how we did the entire Dastardly Deeds series. It was a writer's room that took place in
Oh,
Discord,
awesome. That's
entirely in
awesome.
Discord.
That's awesome. And we may touch on that later on tonight because I had forgotten about the Dastardly Deeds thing, but that is pretty awesome. Come on in, guys. Say hello. We are about 5 minutes into this, and we'll keep this rolling. And I'm actually going to go ahead with the interview. We're going to get started here a little bit. One of the things that really, really attracted me to Ray and his channel, and just looking at it, was just the real life and everything that he shows. I don't think there's any secrets. I don't think there's anything hidden over there. I think Ray just rolls the camera and says what comes to his head. And I think that's pretty awesome. I'm sure he plans some of them out, but there's so many of them that are just like in the car and other things. But I want to show y'all the very, very first video that Ray ever posted on his TikTok account.
Oh my God.
Okay, so I have a very unusual talent, and I was told to come to TikTok and post it. So if you have a dog, turn the volume up as loud as it'll go and record their reactions to me barking like a dog.
Now, she's pretty good. She's a pretty good dog. Didn't get much of a reaction out of your dog, huh?
No, that's Chuck.
Chuck, good old Chuck. Chuck is around a lot on his channel, so if y'all get over there, you'll get to know Chuck pretty well. But now, do you actually remember posting that video?
I do now.
You do now?
But yeah, I do remember that one vividly now.
What made you choose that as your first one?
Maybe it was like just not wanting to jump in front of the camera myself and trying to like get into that whole stream of the trends, and I'm on the kids dancing app. I'm trying to figure out how it works.
Yeah. I know. Me as an older gentleman, had fun kind of finding my niche and where I was going to be on the app. So totally get that. So what did bring you to TikTok in the first place?
So I guess, like I said, I mean, I guess like a lot of us, it was the lockdown, like, nothing to do, no new places to explore, other social media platforms were kind of a bit of a dumpster fire at the time. So I just, was looking for other avenues and something to do. And this commercial was the holidays. The commercial kept coming up like that TikTok was more than just a kids dancing app, right? Okay. It was like all these people doing these different things. I came on, the first thing I learned how to do was make a turkey.
Make a turkey? Now, what do you mean make a turkey?
I guess it was around Thanksgiving time, and the For You page was just showing me a bunch of creators like, hey, here's how to make a turkey. And I made a turkey better than Nana's turkey.
So actually cooking a turkey.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. That's awesome. I thought it was like drawing your hand and doing that. Who knew? Find some
like
weird
literally,
things.
Burning a bird in the oven.
Okay. That's awesome. That's good.
The parts that cooked through were delicious.
That's pretty funny. That's a good one. Hey, thank you for the likes, guys. Keep those things going. I really appreciate it. I know we've got some people coming in and out, but just thank you so much. And we're going to keep rolling through this now. So you've had your ups and downs from what I was watching. I saw a lot of different things happening. You've had some life moments. You've had some TikTok moments. And I think one time you lost your channel.
Yeah, that was I think it was at the time that a lot of people were like losing their channels because I don't know. Nobody knows how this app truly works. If there's like a man behind the curtain, or if it's just all bots, trolling people's pages. But something happened at the end of a live one night, and the whole thing went black on me and said, "You've been permanently banned." And I,
oh my,
what did I do?
Oh my,
and then but because of this community, people like rallied behind me with like making videos. Let's get Ray back,
Yeah.
And I was back the following day.
That is awesome. That
so
is really
and
cool.
I don't know if that's because people on my behalf. I mean, I tried to appeal it and all that stuff. It just, and then it was just this. As soon as it happened, it unhappened. So
yeah. Oh, that's awesome. That's good. I think we've all probably had that little point. I showed a Nerf pew pew on my channel one time during it live and got banned. So
It definitely scared the crap out of me because it was at the time too where I was really coming into my own, finally had like reached 1,000 followers, could be in lives, was making friends on here, and it's just like, nope, you're done.
Right. I understand. Hey, Create Ruckus. Create says
Ruckus.
that Ray is the best, is what Create says. So that's great. Thank you for joining us tonight. So, we were looking at your channel earlier. You've got about 3,300 followers, which is really cool. Yeah, to be honest, I followed you for a while, and I never look at people's follower counts. I thought you were like one of the big guys. I was expecting these big numbers and everything.
And you're not the first person to tell me that. I think like the problem, like the reason for that is because this app tries to put you in a box, and I refuse to stay in the box.
I gotcha.
Because like I said, you have your parenting creators, and then you have your artist creators, and like I'm trying to be both.
I gotcha.
And so like this app is just like, well, what does he want to do? I don't know where to put him.
Okay. Okay. Well, then that brings me kind of that last little question as far as the channel. We each come to TikTok, and you've come to TikTok in your way, and there's always kind of this purpose behind what you're doing. What is the general purpose behind what you're trying to do on TikTok and this channel?
The general purpose of what I'm trying to do. Trying to take over the world. No,
thank you, Pinky and Brain.
The general, I mean, it all started out like I said, like I just came on here, started following a bunch of people, and then it started becoming more than that. It started becoming a daily blog. It started to become, like a catharsis, a way of just like ranting out into the void and seeing if I get any kind of response. Because like I did come on to the app at the tail end of the pandemic, and there was a lot of anger from that going on in the early part of it that generated some like I said, it was some reaction my way. It was negative reaction, but it was reaction. As this app loves negativity.
Oh my gosh, it loves it. I was doing some studying with the agency that I'm with, and they gave us a report, and it said they were talking about kind of how you start off a video, and that 6 words within 2 seconds is 5 to 6 is the best you can do. And it said, if you want the best response, make it negative. If you want the next best response, make it neutral. If you don't want any response at all, make it positive.
You're going to hate this video.
Exactly.
Don't watch it to the end.
Exactly. So no, the community definitely loves it. Hey, Alien, how are you doing tonight? Thanks for stopping by. I hope you finished your latest 3D model. Good to see you in here tonight. So how many times a day do you post?
Oh God. I mean, it depends on the day. Today was a little lacking because I was a little under the weather, but
Okay.
Like I said, it's usually a bit of both with me. It's like a few of my like well-produced videos and then just a few from the hip, like what's going on with me in the day,
Okay.
but for me, like I said, I don't really talk to my actual friends or family on a daily basis. So for me, it's a way for just like kind of shooting that message out there. Hey, what's everybody up to? And like I said, I've always got, like my core group of friends on here that are always, commenting like Ruckus and well,
we won't tell them you forgot their name.
yeah.
I understand.
The whole crew there,
Yeah. You also sometimes have to decide what name to call them because their real name, their TikTok
exactly,
name.
and that's why I drew the blank, right? Because
No, I get that 100%. Now, do you hold a lot of stuff in drafts, or do you just go and post?
So lately, I have become like a big advocate for CapCut. So a lot of my stuff now I shoot outside of TikTok and then bring it all into CapCut for editing. But yeah, I don't have as many drafts as I used to because now, like I said, I kind of try to do a bit more editing than I used to.
Right. What are you shooting with right now?
Pixel.
Okay.
Pixel 7 or 8,
7.
whichever one they swindled me into.
And so you're just using the base camera on that. And
base camera on that. I've been trying to branch out a bit more with like other things. Like I'm a gadget guy. So I like a couple of years ago I bought what is the company? I always get it backwards because of my brain. DJT.
Okay.
I started with the gimbal.
Yep.
and then the gimbal with the AI tracking for the face,
Yep.
and then the little mini camera that they have. But now he asked me how many times I've actually used those things.
Yeah, I've bought two gimbals since I've started social media, and the amount of
Yeah.
times I have used them probably numbers the number of social media accounts I have.
My most expensive one is sitting over there, and it's like the one you've seen the technology advertised probably all over here now. It's like you put in any app, because of the little side camera, you can use it to track yourself in your regular camera on
Yep.
TikTok. So it's like, wow, I need that, and but I still have to calibrate it.
Yeah. Well, and I had one, I still have one. The one I use most has the tracking and everything on it. And I would go out to shoot stuff and nobody would see where my camera was. So my camera would be following me and people would walk between me and the camera and I'd have to start over again. And it just kept happening. So
Mhm.
I've gone to using the Black Magic app in my phone right now until I can get somebody to help me or find another solution. But it seems to
Yeah,
work.
like I said, for me, my phone is the quickest and easiest
Yeah.
way to get stuff shot.
Yep. Yeah. Very, very, very true. All right. So now this is a namesake question, and this takes us to the very first video that actually has a skull in it.
My terrifying Lego skull. It is cursed and you turn into a Lego person in 3 days if you touch it. I am immune given my job. But this is an example of a sculptural build, so it only uses the regular bricks and plates, and you really have to think about kind of the form, kind of the shape. It's very similar to working with clay rather than Lego when you're building sculpturally.
So where does the name Skullman come from?
So I'm Ray Sussman because as a millennial of a certain age, I went on here with my real name for some reason,
Okay.
and then learned very quickly. It's like, hey, that's a good way to get yourself in a lot of trouble very quickly.
Oh, I can believe it.
So then I've always had an obsession with skulls ever since I was a kid, but and that's one of the things that drew me to 3D printing is I don't have a lot of access to like awesome looking skulls and things.
Okay.
Spencer Gifts is a shell of what it used to be,
Okay. Well, and so that brings me to one of your two obsessions that I've seen over the past couple of weeks as I've watched every one of your videos, the obsession with skulls. Explain, where does this come from?
Like I said, probably stems out of my love for Halloween and, just love for things macabre, like I'm obsessed with the macabre and I wouldn't call myself like a goth, but
Okay. I can get that. I can get that. So
I only wear black and sometimes very, very, very dark gray.
Okay. I gotcha. I gotcha. I used to be a lot of black. I've tried to diversify just a little bit. But now, how many skeletons do you actually own then?
So are we talking 3D printed or just things I've acquired over the years?
Let's start with maybe the 3D skeletons over 3 foot tall. How's that? Would that work? And it can be anything.
3D skeletons over 3 feet tall. So now for the front yard, we have 4.
Okay.
And that started with Gordon, which I purchased in a Costco many years ago, like one of those real posable, skeletons. And I bought the Party City special. You buy 2 get 1 free. So now I got a whole bunch of skeletons pulling some shenanigans on the lawn for Halloween.
Okay. No, that's awesome. That's awesome. Now, normally I ask people, does your spouse support your 3D printing habit? But I should probably ask, does your wife support your skeleton skull habit?
Oh my goodness! I mean, like I said, Halloween is the one time of the year I get to shine, and I do transition into it. Starting maybe around thanks to this app, we've all agreed that July 5th is the start of spooky season. So that things slowly start working their way into the living room. The skulls, the artwork. There are certain pieces of Halloween artwork that stay up all year round.
Oh wow, that's awesome! If I remember, there's a painting or something on the wall that has some kind of jack-o'-lantern headed person or something.
Yes, so it started with that. Was like a little. I found it. Was a little boy in like skeleton pajamas with like a pumpkin head, and yeah, he just became permanently in my like when you walk in the house.
Okay. And that probably brings me to like the second obsession I've noticed, and that is craft stores.
Well, yeah, I mean, like I said, craft stores for Halloween supplies and you know, Christmas and all that fun stuff. You know, I used to love going to Michael's. Michael's the last few years has kind of dropped off, in my opinion. Like the prices went up and the quality went down.
I agree.
You know, and now but that was great this year because that kind of forced me to focus more on maybe printing my own decorations instead of buying them.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. Well, I have this one. I want us to take a little bit of break, and I'm going to talk about a couple of things for Asylum Life. But taking into the break, this last little question, where I'm going to show the video, and then I'll ask you.
Never understood these sandwiches until now. I mean, I just can't justify paying for pre-made peanut butter and jellies when I cook for a living, but these are the easy solution for an indulgent weekend breakfast when you don't have time for dough to rise. These delights are like a churro meets a donut in the best way. Hands down, the best peanut butter and jelly you'll ever eat. Listen up.
Did you ever make that?
No, absolutely not. A lot of the things I see on TikTok, I'm like, I'm going to do that. And then with the ADHD, it just goes into a folder somewhere and just goes away. Like I said, you showing me that now. I was like, oh yeah. And now I'm telling myself, yeah, let's go do that. It's never going to happen.
Yeah. So have you ever cooked anything? Actually, I know the answer to that.
Well, like I said, there's definitely the turkey.
Yep.
And the reverse omelet. There was a woman on here. She used to be very into like like the keto, the low carb type of stuff.
Right.
And she got my wife and I hooked on reverse omelets, where you put the cheese in the pan first, get a good crisp on that, and then put the egg on top.
Oh, okay. Okay. I was trying to figure out, I was thinking deconstructed omelet, but reverse. Okay. I get that. That makes sense. Well, cool. Well, now, thank you for sharing with us so far. We're going to keep going, guys. We have a lot more questions to ask Ray, and I'm going to give you a little bit of a break, Ray. I'm going to take you off the screen, and you can relax your face, and if I can get my app to do what it's supposed to do. Come on. Oh, we're showing your website, but that's okay. Y'all can listen to me talk, guys. It is time for me just to kind of talk about the show, and hey, join the Discord if you're not a part of the Discord. We are a value for value show. And if you know, I kind of footed the bill for a lot of the things to start this show off. But one of the things that's really I want to be passionate about and am passionate about is to bring the community together. And part of that is all of us becoming part of that community. And that's where I talk about value for value. And we say the time, talent, and treasure. Now, the time is really, really simple. That's lots of clicks, lots of shares. Let's get more people in here to see this, to find out about this great guy, Ray. Really fun guy to watch, somebody that, deserves our support and just the things that he's doing. And we want to bring him into the community and bring others into the community. So take that time, tap, and share. So we've got the time, talent, the talent. I'm always looking for people to help with the graphics, to help with the Discord server, to help with all the things that we're going to be looking at in the future. We've got a contest coming up for making 3D models. We've got a lot of different projects that we're going to be working on through the Discord, and I want people to come in and take over those projects and help people as they become makers, as they become better creators through that process. And so that's the time and the talent. So there's lots of ways you can help there. And then the treasure. I never belabor this part. Y'all know the gifts. Y'all know where the things are in the bio and where to go for that. I'm not looking for all of that, but if that's the way you can support, and all of that money will go towards the things that we're building for the community. So I really appreciate anything you do. Thank you so much for the likes. We're almost to 1,000 right now, and I really appreciate that. That's great. Got a couple of gifts. Thank you so much, guys. And this has been a really good interview so far, and I'm going to bring Ray back in here really quick and give him a heads up. Hey, Ray, I'm bringing you back in. And so now he can get his face back and ready, and he can smile again. Now, I'm seeing some things on this on your lapel. I think we're going to be talking about here in a short little while. So, hey, guys, come on in. Hey, what's up, Blue? Good to see you. I hadn't seen you in a while. Come on in. Let us know what you've been up to. So, scoured, and there were a couple of things that I was looking for when I was watching your videos. And one of them was, because you haven't always been a 3D printer since you've been on TikTok. And so I wanted to find the first mention of 3D printing, and I found it. And it's just a hint.
Oh, man.
Just a hint.
You guys, I got a 3D printer for my birthday, and it is the...
That's it. It's destiny. You got a 3D printer for your birthday. I've been wanting a 3D printer for my birthday. I'm buying a 3D printer for my birthday.
And so there we go. So that's the very first mention I found on your channel. Now, did I miss a mention or?
I think that actually might have been like I think it might have been the video related to my Cobra Max, because I bought the Cobra Max for my birthday.
Oh, okay. Okay. So that wasn't,
yeah, the very first printer I bought was the Ender 3. I bought it on Black Friday.
Okay. Okay. You bought that on Black Friday. And so that video I showed you was actually on 7/22/21.
Mm-hmm.
Then the next video I have was December 1st.
So maybe I said I was going to buy the printer. I never did.
And then
Black
maybe
Friday
for Thanksgiving. So on December 1st of 2021, this is what you posted.
We'll see if I did this right.
So
that looks like your Ender.
Yes, and I was probably printing the little doggy that comes on the memory card.
Do you still have the little doggy?
Somewhere. The thing is, my kids run in here, and you know.
Oh, I get it. I know they
take everything.
Yeah, I'm sure they do. I'm sure. I have never gotten to know that. That's been one of the experiences I haven't had in life, but all my friends talk about it.
I'm printing decoys of things now. Just like if I want something, I need to print another one because I know they're going to, take it. Like I said, these I've been making all week because they've been kicking under the fridge.
Oh, no. So what season do you clean out from under the fridge?
The what?
There we go. And that tells us everything we need to know. That tells us everything. So what got you interested in 3D printing first?
Like, it was always something that was just around. Like, I mean, I was always kind of like, interested in like, technology and things like that. I remember reading about 3D printing in, it had to be like Maker Magazine or one of those like, hobbyist kind of magazines. And they were talking about 3D printing and all the things that were emerging out of 3D printing. And, like I said, everything from like, it was like everything, like I said, from like the little BS toys to people printing prosthetics and things. And I was like, wow, but like that's not for me. That's something people smarter than me can do, right? And then the pandemic happened. We're all just like glued to our phones all day, every day. And I started seeing more, guys who I don't even think they were that big at the time. They're definitely huge now. Guys like Frankly Built and he used to call himself Hot Rod Hippie.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's how I knew him. Yep. And that was definitely how he was one of the ones that kept me in 3D printing, because he did a whole YouTube series on like basic like how-tos, like, if you're getting this problem, like, this is why, because that little doggy was like the first and last print for a while, I think.
Yeah, well, and the next video out on the printer, which I think it looks like it was about a week later. I didn't bring that one in, but that print failed, and you could hear it in your voice. You were just like, I don't know what's going on here.
Because I thought these things were like a Ronco product, man. Just set it and forget it. Like, I was like, wow, if I can print a little dog, I can print anything. And then I did the whole bit. I set up, my file. I set up my webcam. I went to work that day, and I was so proud of myself. And I'm like showing the guy at work. I'm like, hey, look what I'm making. I was making spaghetti.
Yeah. That'll do it. That will do it. So Ender 3 was your first machine.
Mm-hmm.
What made you choose the Ender 3?
Because like it was one of the printers that like I said, guys like Frankly Built kind of recommended, oh, I did all this on an Ender 3, you know, and I think they're like I said, they're the best, you know, for the buck type of thing, like an entry level type of printer.
Right.
So, you know, I said, why not? I'll give it a shot. You know, I found out much later that you could get them for much cheaper. All you have to do is give your life away to Micro Center, you know.
Right. Now, was that a machine that you put together yourself? Did you have help? What?
No, I put the machine together all by myself. You know, but wasn't relatively hard for something like an Ender 3, you know, but like I said, got it together, got the dog printed, and I never, you know, never felt better. Felt very accomplished by that print, you know. But then every print after was a colossal failure, and it almost brought me to the level where I stopped printing because my wife said to me, "This you did this was supposed to bring you joy. If it's not bringing you joy, get rid of it because it's making you, you know, very angry."
Yeah, and I think that's why most printers reach a point in their 3D printing career, if you want to call it that, of saying, get used to failure and enjoying it.
That's why I came up with the creed. You know, through, like I said, being on here, I became friends with a guy named Brass Opie. He's an amazing creator. A lot of the work he does is all in Tinkercad, and you know, one of his claim to fame is I think he designed a Playmobil scale model of the train from Back to the Future 3.
Oh wow.
And he did all of that in Tinkercad and all kinds of like like I said, it's amazing what he did in Tinkercad. And we were joking around one night, and because I said, "Oh man, you know, like I said, I feel like we're in a support group because you know it was like I got to know him and Art Overkill and all these guys, and it was like I said, I feel like we're in a support group. I was like that scene in Wreck-It Ralph where he goes like, you know, I'm bad and that's good, and then I went. And then it just popped in my head. I went, my prints may fail, but that doesn't mean I'm a failure.
That's awesome. Yep, that's a good one.
And Opie says to me, he goes, that's great. And he came back in a few hours with this.
That's great. That's great. And then he sent you to print it. How many times did you have to attempt to print it?
I printed it one time, and it did actually fail. The little like piece in here broke out, you know, and then you can see I tried to paint it and I got my like thumb on there, you know, so it's like the perfect.
That's beautiful.
Then he also off-centered the hole, so when you hang it on the wall.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. I love it. And that's one of the really cool things about this community is guys that you talk to doing things like that for you. I think that's just a kind of a testament.
Absolutely. Art said to me one day, or he posted as a video, you know, it's like having a training partner. You know, like he was like Arnold Schwarzenegger talks about his training partner. Like it's the only reason he gets in the gym. He goes, it's the same thing with 3D printing. Like these guys see that like I'm down. Hey, what's going on? You haven't printed anything in a while. Come on, let's get back in there. Like, you know.
Yeah. No, I agree, and I've had that too, and I've been able to be that for some other people as well. So. Yeah, it's a really, really good community. So I have, in a very, very short time, watched you go from collecting Halloween pins to making Halloween pins, which I think you might have a few of them right there on your sweater.
I do.
All right.
These are, so like I said, I've had a love for Halloween since I was 5 years old. Like my family, it was like their thing. Like, I actually I have to do a post about it because I just acquired all the pictures of like my grandfather making, because this is back before Spirit Halloween and, you know, all the stores. You know, he looked in a magazine of like a spooky tree that was, you know, like this tall. Yeah. Right. Traced it onto a piece of plywood, cut it out with a jigsaw. We still use it to this day.
Oh, wow.
You know, and all the gravestones and stuff. And then my uncle we put mannequins out in the yard. My uncle would pretend to be one of the mannequins and scare everybody. So Halloween is just like in my DNA. So, you know, especially when I came onto this app and people were just like, yeah, I live Halloween 24/7. I'm like, you can do that? Like, you know, like, so I really, coming onto this app really helped me allow my freak flag to fly. And I started just collecting pins from anywhere I could get them, and you know, from even creators on here, and just would rock them on my sweater. And then something just came on. I was like, like I want to start making them for myself. Like I want to start seeing like what I can do with these designs. And that started with the drippy skull,
Okay.
and then the hand, the arm, and I started making all of those on an Ender 2 Pro.
Okay. Okay, that's awesome. And that's the store. So this is your store. The easy
Yes.
thing is to go to the profile guys, and y'all know where that is. Just jump in there, and you will actually be able to see where he sells his stuff. If I can get my web browser to come up.
Store needs a huge, massive update, but the drippy skulls and the base pins are there. They're available. It's 3D printing. They can be available in any color combination you like. It's just it's a pain in the butt to list them all.
Right. And now, guys, if you're looking around, and you'll see my shop, but go down a little bit further and you'll see Drippy Skull pins available for purchase. Click on that one, and that will bring you to a link with the pins that are there. That's a really quick way to get there, and that's the Drippy Skull pin right there. Come on.
Yes, very nice.
Beautiful, beautiful. So get over there, guys. Jump into his profile. Give him a follow. Let's try to get him moving. We're going to push him up at least past 5,000 here pretty quick. We're going to try to get his name out there and see if we get a lot of followers for him. He has definitely been working hard enough to get followers, and we're gonna try and push him over the top and let him keep growing. But go grab some pins, even talk about them online. That's where we as a community can help each other. Just talking about the projects that we're working on individually, and then we can talk about the projects that you're working on, and soon everybody will know what you're doing through everybody else, right?
Absolutely, because I've got a lot of stuff in the works. I've been working on like everything from like magnets to, other pin designs. I started dabbling in, now that I've got, I just got a hold of a Bamboo Labs printer, so now I can really, do some wild stuff with the pins. I've been working on stuff for Christmas, like a holly version of the Drippy Skull.
Yeah, that's awesome. I like that.
And where is going? Yeah, and then I got and I just did this one. It's an actual like a peat holly with skull berries.
I like that. That is awesome. That is great. That is great. Yeah, guys, get over there to his store. Support him. I know he'll be updating some things there. Now, are you ever thinking about doing a TikTok shop?
I've tried to do the TikTok shop, and I mean, no shame to the people who do the TikTok shop. It's just I've worked in retail. I can't do the hustle anymore. I understand like you have to like kind of do these QVC style lives and things. And as fun as I thought they would be, it's not something I can devote myself to right now, being a full-time parent.
Okay. Yeah.
Like I said, the coffee shop is definitely open for right now, and my wife and I are trying to look into the affordable avenues outside of this platform.
Okay. Now, I've heard a rumor about a creation of yours. Now, I don't know if this was the first thing you've created or it was kind of a remix of something, but it's called the Thomas Jefferson Boba Fett.
Yes. So that was another thing I always like brought me to 3D printing was, like I said, like one of the, we talked about me going to craft stores and and things of that nature. My wife and I love going like Michael's. We love going to Home Goods, especially around Halloween, and all the different statues and things they create. And I'm, people like that are there, like the busts. And I'm like, like, why have I never seen like a colonial bust of Star Wars characters? Right. It's like, it's something I've always wanted, a crazy idea I had in my head. So one day I just remixed a file of Thomas Jefferson and put Boba Fett's helmet on there. Let's see if I can
that is pretty good. Yeah. It's coming through. I see it.
All right. Yeah. It's washed out on my end. But then like my favorite part is that like the features of the colonial still come through. Like you have the tied off ponytail sticking out of the back, and the
I like that. Now, is that a file you created, or how did you come about that?
I remixed two different files, so I wouldn't call myself the creator. That's one of the things I struggle with on here is like, what can you really consider an original creation? Especially because this dabbles in somebody else's property.
Right.
You know, I thought about like offering them, but I don't want to get myself in any trouble. So this is just like a boyhood dream come true for me.
No, that is pretty cool. Now, did you make that file available anywhere? Is that something that's specific to you?
I didn't. I made it like so long ago. It's somewhere here on the desktop. I had wanted to make other companions in the series. I had found a World War I style German general.
Oh, wow.
And I wanted to incorporate that somehow with Darth Vader. And I really got into it, but I'm very limited at the processing power of my 10-year-old PC here.
Right. Well, Ruckus is saying he thinks you should make it available. Now, Ruckus, I don't think it's that he doesn't want to make it available, but it's in that folder. We all have that folder. It's kind of like
don't want the mouse coming down on me, you know.
Oh, the mouse. Yes. But, we all have that folder that's kind of like the kitchen drawer. There's that one kitchen drawer that has everything that doesn't have a place to go.
Oh, yeah. I had somebody laughing the other night because I said, oh, yeah, I just got another monitor. Because they're like, damn, Ray, you got a lot of stuff on that desktop. I said, oh, yeah, ignore that one. I said, that's why I have this one.
Ruckus says he doesn't have a folder on his desktop. So you're saying all the files are on the desktop is what you're saying.
Yes.
Okay.
He's seen that desktop. It's just like everything just goes there or stays in the downloads folder indefinitely.
Oh, yeah.
He's heard me make this joke before. Like if the internet ever went down, the 3D printers would be okay because we all basically have a copy of Thingiverse on our computers.
That is true. I have a lot of those. I think somebody did a competition a while back that said print the oldest thing you've ever downloaded but have never printed.
That would be a lot of things for me.
It would be. So guys, type some questions. If you have some questions for Ray, get those things into the room. Keep pressing those likes. We've still got, a good 20 minutes here that more people can come in and they can find out about Ray, and we can get people over to his store, get people in there to follow him. Let's just keep hitting those likes. Share this out real quick. We got a lot more questions. We have your questions, but before we do that, I'm actually going to show my favorite video of your entire channel. Okay, this one really spoke to me in a way that not many other videos have spoken to me. Here we go.
Hey guys, and Will's Jake from Taxi Prince.
Nope, that's not the one. Oh, yes, it is the one. Oh, there we go.
Hey guys, and Will's Jake from Taxi Prince. Listen, when it comes to bed adhesion and 3D print, there's a lot of opinions.
Jake, I'm glad you asked, and let me show you my tried and true method. Watch. Works every time.
I love that one. That is very, very, very classic for a couple of reasons. But so what brought this on?
Like I said, I have a lot of anger. I have a lot of anger just in daily life, and when I had the Enders, a lot of anger towards those machines, and so yeah, that was definitely. I don't know what was going on that day, but it was a definite catharsis to just, scream at that machine.
Right. And I think to me, that's something that speaks so much of your channel. So much of your channel is, and I'm not saying you lashing out, but it's you showing whatever true emotions are happening at that point in time in your life, whether it's a happy time, whether it's a sad time, just whatever's going on. You just seem to really give us the story of your life. Now, is that your intention or is that just happening?
It was never really my intention. It's just sort of happened that way. I tried to do the whole, Instagram kind of like, oh, I'm going to show you my perfect life through, but my life is far from perfect. And this app has taught me, I don't have to be ashamed of that,
Yeah.
But I follow a lot of creators from all walks of life, especially parenting creators who have taught me a lot about myself over the last 2 years that have really got me in touch with, myself and things and why, things happen the way they do. It's incredible. This app saved me on so many levels.
That's a strong statement right there. That really, really is. Ruckus says you don't have anger. You're a New Yorker.
Yeah, that's true.
And you are a New Yorker. Born and raised, it sounds like.
Born and raised. I'm from a little place called Howard Beach, Queens. It's where all the guys in all those mafia movies come from.
That's cool. That's cool. Did you know any of those guys from the
But
Mafia
you know,
movies? Or can you talk about knowing
I
those guys?
knew I knew like relations, like relations of relations,
Yeah, I
but
got you.
like never anybody directly. Never,
Okay. It's probably safer that way. Probably safer.
Yeah.
You might have been brought into the family.
It's incredible though. I grew up in like I grew up in Queens, and everybody hears Queens and they think city, but I actually grew up in like a swamp. I grew up in a marsh.
Well, and that was one of the things that surprised me as, a Mississippi boy knowing nothing, as I was growing into my teenage years and going to New York and probably seeing way more farmland than I ever saw city.
Yeah, it's absolutely it really is incredible. I mean, like upstate New York, I think is like known for like its dairy, but I mean, like even down in the city, like there are places that'll really surprise you, that are like more rural than you expected.
Right.
And that's what it was for me growing up. My father had come across a house. The houses down there were so old, they were built along the waterways and not along the main streets. So I never had a main street growing up. I'd like get off the bus and then have to like walk through basically somebody's yard down to my house,
Right. Okay.
Good times.
Yeah. Good times.
Could go fishing right out my bedroom window.
Yeah. We could fish in our yard. We lived at the bottom of a hill, and every time it rained, our yard flooded. So we could sit out in our bedroom windows and fish out.
The flooding was always a thing for us too. High tides, having to pull your pants up right off the train too. Like I said, I lived right by the A train, and you'd get off that train some nights, and you would have to roll up your pants and get off the train into knee deep water.
Well, let's see. I'm looking at the chat room. Looks like a couple of questions. I think Alien is saying something about. I think Alien sent you a skeleton.
He sent me a skeleton model a long time ago, over a year ago. I never got a chance to print it because, like, I really at that time I was losing confidence in printing a little bit because like nothing was coming out successful. And he had seen a video I did. I purchased this statue of like a skeleton wearing like a jack-o'-lantern as like kind of like a costume because it reminded me of a cartoon series Over the Garden Wall.
Right.
Where a lot of the that's like one of the episodes, all these pumpkin people, and are in a town. And at the end of the episode, you realize they're all skeletons just wearing pumpkins as a part of their like Halloween tradition or whatever. So I saw that thing in Home Goods. I had to have it. Alien saw me make a video about it, and he made a version of it and sent it to me. But no, I never got around to printing it. And I think I'd actually love to print it now that I have the AMS. I could really,
Oh, that'd be cool. That'd be really, really nice. And I know we always struggle. I know we all kind of get prints from people and we want to print them and everything, but I guess life just gets in the way sometimes, and eventually we'll get around to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as a creator, and everybody, I consider everybody that comes into this room a creator. And one of the things I want to do is I actually want to start using the phrase producers, because the people who come here help us make this show. And, y'all help me a lot. I get to help y'all. We get to have these really, really awesome discussions. And through this community, we make some really, really good relationships. And is there a specific creator that's been very influential in just the things you do and how you go about kind of the day on social?
I mean, there are so many. Like I said, I mean, my core group is definitely like Create Ruckus, Art Overkill, Brass Opie, Make It Michael. I mean, 3 of those guys we did the Dastardly Deeds with,
right?
And those guys were just like, those are guys I talk to literally every day about everything from just family life, to 3D printing.
That's great.
Those guys definitely like were there for me more than my own family was at like one of the hardest times in my life last year. Yeah. Like Ruckus was like, I'll get on a plane right now.
Wow.
And come help you if you say, I need your help.
That's awesome. That's a good friend right there. That really is.
Yeah.
How about your business? What are your next steps for like your business or your social media? What do you see yourselves doing?
My next steps for the business. I mean, my big thing on here is like, because I know you've touched on like, oh, why don't you have 10,000 followers? For me, it started off like, oh, maybe I'll make that viral video. Maybe I'll get that 10,000. But over time, I started growing more of an organic following. I mean, I know I have maybe like 3,500 followers, but I probably talk to, not daily, but through the, weeks, people through comments, through direct messaging, and then moving on to other spaces. I know I'm kind of getting off what we were saying about the thing, but yeah, yeah, for me, it was just kind of growing this organic following. And now I think I'm at a place and a place of confidence where I want to take the business now to the next level. Like, beyond the coffee shop. The coffee shop was kind of like an experiment to see if I could sell these items. And now that I know there is like a market for it, there are people who, like I said, who live and breathe spooky,
Right.
Which is, I got to convince Mrs. Skullman of that, because Mrs. Skullman is like kind of like wanted to, move things in a more professional tone. And I'm like, no, I want to make it dark and spooky, and
right.
I want to sell spooky stuff because that's what I love to make. But, I realize I have to diversify
a little bit.
And I do have some things, that I want to work on, and, maybe put that under different umbrellas so that like the Skullman can be its own thing. But then I have a, more professional side of things,
Right.
that like I said, that's my problem. I can't even put myself in a box. Every wild business idea I come up with stops being one thing and starts being 20 things.
Right. And that's when I talk to people and about their businesses and try to help them work through a lot of the stuff, and you start talking audience and you start talking about niche, and you say everybody's like, but I want to do this and I want to do that and I want to
But and that's what I love about the app too, because it's helped me build that kind of confidence that, like, you don't need to be one thing.
Right.
Like, life tries to say, no, you need to be one thing and you need to do that for the rest of your life. And like, that burned me out. Like I found out, like, over the last 2 years that I'm a neurodivergent person, and a lot of like things in my life started making sense after I, started finding out more about myself and realized, like, I don't want to go back to the 9 to 5.
Right.
I love doing this. I love being home with my kids. As much as you see the videos where I want to rip my hair out, it's all worth it at the end of the day. And to have this time with them now and be able to pursue a 3D printing business, even if right now it's a couple $100, I know that's going to grow. I'm not, because I know a lot of guys try to like just rush out of the gate. I mean, we're seeing it all day, every day here with the TikTok shops. Like I want to be in control. I don't want to be where like I have to hustle to make business. Like I have a few customers like that reach out to me directly. Hey, I got Christmas coming up. I saw this thing. Can you make it for me? Absolutely. I've been doing a lot of stuff like that to also see if I can, keep up with certain demands.
Yeah. No, and I agree with that.
That was the thing that intimidated me right out of the gate with TikTok shop, is I saw a couple of guys blew up right out of the gate, and they're like, "Oh man, I don't know, I can't keep up with the orders. What am I going to do?" And that kind of intimidated me a little bit.
Yeah, no, and I agree with you as far as the 9 to 5 and all of that. I lost my job during COVID, and it really forced me just to kind of step back and really figure out how can I be in control of this, and
that was me. I lost my job like during COVID because I was burnt out.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it anymore. The environment I was in, it was just like, I blew up one day and they were like, listen, you can't do that. So you can't be here anymore. So, and I just, so my full-time job has been my kids.
Yeah.
Because, because everybody over the pandemic either got a dog, an air fryer, or, I got twins.
I got the air fryer and the coffee machine. So let's see. We got Hack. Hey, Hack. How are you doing? Good to see you. Super 3D Talk says he loves the 9 to 5. And then he starts crying and says, I love the 9 to 5. So,
Super 3D Talk is one of my fellow Long Island 3D printers.
Awesome. Well, welcome. Thank you for stopping by. Let's see. Yep, making your own schedule. I agree with you, Hack. Hack likes the capability to make their own schedule. Ruckus. Oh, he's 8 to 5:40, so he's fine. He's fine. He doesn't have the 9 to 5. He's 8 to 5:40.
I'm not saying I'll never get back into the grind. I mean, I'm sure once the kids are in school full time, then I can do something like that. But it's kind of got to be on my terms moving forward. I'm sick of the
Right. And
Sick of the rat race.
I think that's the main goal. And we all know that sometimes in life we're going to have to work a little harder than we do other times. And there's always other things we need to focus on. And having the ability to structure that ourselves, I think, is what really becomes important. And just making sure that we can take care of ourselves and the things that need to be taken care of on top of, everything else. So,
yeah, like I had such a rough year last year that I told myself, I was like, like everybody says, nobody went to the grave saying, "Oh man, I wish I had put in more hours."
yeah, exactly. Exactly. All right. So I think we've kind of gone through a lot of the questions here. Now, are there any next steps in social media for you? You said you might start a second account or
maybe starting a second account to, just promote what I'm selling, because I don't want to, because that's what happened to me with the TikTok shop. Is once I went from a personal account to a business account, everything changed for me, and it was taking me out of the app because I could, like I said, like the same complaint everybody has. You can't, you want to use the trends to sell your product, but you can't use a lot of the sounds, and it was,
right.
So I figure like maybe just start a separate account and focus it primarily, towards like a TikTok shop. But of course, also I want to, be on other platforms.
Right. And it's also so hard. You don't want to throw all your products out in front of the people that you've made friendships with and just
Exactly.
So no, totally get that.
Because that's what's been kind of happening. And I've seen other creators lamenting about it. Because I used to see people come up or people would tell me like, "Oh, you came up on my FYP," and I'm like, "I did," but now a lot of the new 3D printers I see on my FYP are trying to sell me something, and it's like, hey, good for them. I never want to shame anybody on here that's trying to make a living, but for me, it's like, hey, I want to interact with you, but as a colleague,
Yes, exactly. So are you looking at expanding into any other machines or anything? Have you looked at lasers, CNCs, anything?
I bought myself, what was it? When Amazon does their big sale in July, I bought myself a laser cutter. And then it sat in the garage for a few months, and then I put it together a few months later, and it's been sitting in the garage ever since.
Okay. Well, there you go. So that's possible in the future that might come back up.
Maybe we'll see. But I mean, I just got myself the bamboo, so I've been having a lot of fun with that.
That's true. That's true. Now, your kids, are they interested in 3D printing, or are they just interested in what 3D printing gives them?
A little bit of both.
Okay.
My oldest son was a little bit into 3D printing when I first started, especially since I was like painting a lot of my stuff, and my kid he says, "Oh, I want to paint a dinosaur skull just like you." So I printed him a little miniature dinosaur skull, and he, painted it up, and it's been sitting on my shelf ever since.
That's awesome.
My youngest son, he's so clever for 3 years old. Like he knows. He's like, "Did you make that on your 3D printer?" Like he gets it, which is pretty cool. He might be the one that I can, bring into the business.
Yeah, that's cool. And
and then of course my daughter, if I make anything cute, she'll run off with it. If it's a dragon and like the axolotl, she brought it with her to her class the other day. I couldn't get it out of her hands.
That's great. That's great. Yeah, I've got some nieces and nephews like that who they'll come in and just grab everything, and by the time they leave, there's nothing left on my shelves.
That's been the fun thing this year, because like when I started, I'm like, "Oh, I'm not going to print a dragon. Everybody prints dragons. Those things are corny." And then like Ruckus throws me a dragon file. And then before I knew it, I had 5 more dragon files in my cart. And I'm like, well, I spent so much money on dragons, I might as well join the Patreon.
Yeah, I did for a little while. I got tired of dragons. I just got tired of them. Not saying anything bad about designers, just I printed a ton of them.
No, and for me, it's just, like I said, another item to offer. I have my original designs, and then I have all the other stuff everybody offers too.
Well, cool.
Because I'm a customer of Flexi, and like as much as I might as well have the ability to sell the products as well.
Yeah. Yeah, well, guys, we got a couple more minutes. If you have some more questions you want to get in, just get them in the room really, really quick. So are you still a Dr. Pepper fan?
I love Dr. Pepper.
You love Dr. Pepper. Now, would you, if there was a choice between Dr. Pepper and White Claw, what would you pick?
Probably the Dr. Pepper, because my drinking days are, pretty much over. Like 3 kids, there's no time to drink.
I got you.
Not anymore.
Yep. Do you miss driving a forklift?
I do. It was like I started because I worked for my father-in-law for many years. So a lot of the things I did was just like I had a job and I needed to show I trained myself how to do things to keep that job. So like I taught myself how to drive a forklift, and that was a lot of fun.
Cool. Your wife, how supportive is your wife of your 3D printing habit?
Very supportive, but the support on my end needs to start turning into money.
Yes, I'm right there
but
with you.
That's what's great about my wife is that she's she wants to help me in more of the business end of things, because I've told her, I said, it's like I'm the creator here. Like it's good. One thing for me to sit and make things. To run a business is a whole different animal. And that's pretty much what she's been doing her whole life, is like managing companies. So
wow.
Why not help manage me? I've always said my wife is the rock and I'm the balloon. If it wasn't for her, I would fly away on all my wild tangents.
Yeah. Wow, that's awesome. Then having a team like that and be able to do it with the family, that's pretty awesome. That would be a neat thing. Let's see. So
absolutely. If it wasn't for my wife, I'd be coming home like, you don't understand. I just sold everything for these beans. This man said they were magical.
Yes, beautiful. Certified forklift operator. I don't know. Super. Are you certified forklift?
I certified myself.
There you go. Okay.
You got to buy the $400 binder, and then you print the certificate, and now you're a certified forklift driver. So that's kind of how I became a certified driver.
Well, there you go. Well, Ray, thank you so much for tonight. It's really been good. I'm glad I was excited about this, because it was everything I thought it would be.
Thank you for having me. We should do this again sometime.
Yeah, definitely. And guys, I do talk about getting people over there and liking him. Now, it's not so much about the likes and follows. It's really more about just people learning about him. We just want to make sure that people know about Ray as he expands his business, as his family potentially gets involved in everything. Those are just things that are exciting. Those are things as creators I think we all want to see. And I think we should just jump in and support Ray. Great interview. Yeah, man, great information.
I love it here. Like I said, for me, this is the Ray show. If you want to watch, it's always on. I told people I do this for me. It's all for me.
Well, that's awesome. Well, y'all, let's watch together and watch him do things for him, and we'll just laugh and cry and do all the responding as we should. So, well, thank you guys for being here.
This year is more on the laughter side.
The laughter, yes. I know we all need a little more laughter, but so we're going to get out of here, guys. This will be posted up on the tubes of you probably by tomorrow evening. So if you missed some of it or you want to watch this again, it will be out there. Yes, Russell, Ray is the man. Ray is the man. So thank y'all for joining us. Thank y'all for being here tonight. Just remember, as I always say, live life to the fullest, grow in wisdom and stature, and share what you have learned generously. Y'all have a great night.
Good night, everybody.